Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Social Hotelier Podcast with me, Sam-Erik Ruttmann. This time I have a returning guest in my show, and we realized that, Jayanth, without further ado, welcome, Jayanth. Good to have you back again.
Thank you, Sam-Erik. Happy New Year to you. Happy 2025 for everyone who's listening and watching this.
Likewise. You asked me a question, well, how many times have we done an episode for the Social Hotelier? And I realized we have done few shows, and we talked about some groundbreaking ideas that deals with deep tech. We started to touch on artificial intelligence already when the announcement came out, and you're clearly ahead of the curve, and I'm always interested to hear what's going on. But before we start, I'd like to just, for all of you who may not fully know what Jayanth is active on, and because he's very, very active. He's a renowned consultant, in fact, entrepreneur, global speaker with a deep expertise in telecom, deep tech, and in fact also in healthcare. He's a founding partner of the Convergence Catalyst, and he has shaped the industry strategies with visionary insights. And Jayanth co-authored AI Rising with Leslie Demont, chronicling India's journey in artificial intelligence. So the brains of India is really showing off here, and what is developing now in the world in terms of AI. And he's the host of the AI Rising podcast. And so I'm very proud that I have a fellow podcaster, in fact, with me as a guest. But he's also a prolific columnist and thought leader. His perspective are featured in top-tier publications, such as the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, Fortune, BBC, Bloomberg, and Financial Times. And we're both very active in advisory positions in Malta with the Mediterranean Tourism Foundation. And we both can be met during the annual Mediterranean Tourism Forum, which is held usually about the end of November every year. So again, this was a long introduction, and I realized my introduction has been very short in the beginning, but now they get longer as much as your credits are growing. So anyway, Jan, good to have you back again.
Thank you, Sam-Erik. It's always a pleasure, and you're just kind. Thank you.
So AI, I mean, this is something going on here now, and we talked about in the early stages about people talk about Chat GPT, and AI was on the lips of a lot of people, but we didn't realize how fast and continuous fast development is going on. And then you kind of mentioned that, hey, there's something really significant is going on right now, and 2025 is going to, or this year, in fact, is something very unique. It's going to have an impact, in your opinion, about the tourism and travel, and also the influencer market, and what else is going on. So kind of enlighten us a little bit about this.
Thank you, Sam-Erik. And before we start, I realized that you were diligent enough to dig out that with data prove that we've already done 7 episodes so far since we first met since 2019. And I think 5 or 6 out of those 7 episodes we've actually recorded in the month of January, and it was inadvertently, it was not planned, it just so happened since 2020 actually, right? And when I was doing some trend analysis, I realized that everything, any topic or forward-looking topic that I would discuss on this particular podcast with you, the Hotelier show, actually ended up becoming a reality. So, it sort of now become a tradition and a sentiment for me that in January, I need to be a guest on, Sam-Erik's podcast. So if you remember, I was the one who was pushing you, let's do this episode because, I was returning from the year-end vacation here in India. I just took a week off and went into this, eastern state in India, hilly state called Meghalaya. It literally translates to abode of clouds, right? So, it was a digital detox, chasing the waterfalls in places where you do not get Google Maps or even a mobile signal kind of a very offbeat travel experience that I had signed up for. And, when I went there, I went with a group of friends and we were all discussing how within 2 years, Meghalaya is is a small state in the eastern part, and a few years back even Indians wouldn't travel there. Okay, and within 2 years, a couple of places there, a lake which is transparent, where you can see the river bed or the bed of the lake. Okay, called Docky Lake. Someone posted it on Instagram, and within 2 years, it's become a big tourist destination now. So much so that the traffic leading to that particular town and the lake is clogged up for a few hours, and people are traveling there only to take pictures and post it on their Instagram reels and shots and stories. Okay, it's become a trend to travel to Docky and travel to specific spots. And I realized, I've traveled extensively in Europe along with you as well. This trend, especially amongst young millennials and Gen Z, traveling and instead of soaking in the you know culture and the soul of the place. Okay, they are pulling out their cameras, they're recording, they're shooting pictures, they're recording, and they're doing live streams for Instagram reels and YouTube shorts, and it's become more of a getting your digital clout up there kind of a travel, right? So that became a driver amongst specific segments of the tourists and the travelers, right? So I observed this, and I observed how it's clogging up different regions. Within a few years, certain places are becoming really, really popular. Dubrovnik in Croatia is another example. Before Game of Thrones, there was nobody, and once Game of Thrones came in, everybody started traveling there, primarily to post pictures on there and check it off, tick it out of their checkbox. And then while I was there, it was a Christmas week that I was there. There was a lot of action happening in the AI world, which is and from America, from US. Okay, which is very uncharacteristic, because typically towards the end of the year, the entire Western world gets into the holiday mood. But what happened exactly a week before Christmas, Google announced this product called VEO2. Okay, it's their generative AI engine, and a few days prior to that, OpenAI commercially launched this product called Sora, which is their version of video generation engine. Okay, they had announced the test version of it for the developers a few months back, but they opened it up for the public. And all this happened within a week before Christmas, right? And the announcement sort of got subdued because of the holiday spirit, because the entire world was, winding down for the year. But what was extremely significant is, with both these engines and similar engines, now you can enter a text prompt and generate a video, 1, 2, 3 minute long videos. Okay, it's great for video content generation. It's great for marketeers. It's great for ad agencies. It's great for brand builders. They don't have to give a brief to the ad agency and then wait for a few weeks for the creative to come in and do the iteration. They can do it within seconds then and there. But what it is also proving to be is that for a lot of wannabe travelers, travel aspirers, tourism aspirants, okay, they can sit at home and with a prompt using generative AI, generate videos of various landscapes of the places that they want to be, they want to go, or that are on their bucket list. Okay, and when you combine both these trends, people are traveling for posting on their Instagram, which will increase their social credit, their social standing, and their clout. And then generative AI, today can offer you that while sitting at home. I believe that there will be a lot of such videos created and posted on social media platforms, which then will bring down the aspiration and the need and the drive to actually travel for Instagram. Okay, for posting on Instagram. So that's the trend I was observing.
Yeah. So, do you mean that with this VEO2 that has been rolled out, and is there also an app on the ChatGPT that is linked into ChatGPT where you can also do the text to video? Because I tested it out also. I made a GIF, in fact, with what was it? I just wrote a prompt to create a snow landscape up in Arctic Lapland. In the middle of the forest, Nordic lights, and a nice cabin. and in a couple of minutes, I think it was a couple of minutes, that GIF was developed, and I put it up on Instagram.
Yes.
And so then I just made a poll asking if people, what do you think of it? And people liked it. So, but does it mean that really that there is a kind of element of influence, so to speak, influencers that actually never travel to the place, but they want to get to show off that they know about this, and then they are posting these AI generated videos in order to lift their social standing on social media?
So you have to look at what's been happening in the space of influencers, right?
Yeah.
All these social media, the reels, the shorts, and the ability for people to turn into influencers with tens of thousands of followers, okay, if you observe, has sort of I won't say killed, but definitely brought down or diminished the value of stardom and celebrity status, especially post COVID. Okay, because COVID in lockdown, it turned out that all the Hollywood actors, all the rock stars, all the sports athletes, who were larger than life, their image was created that way. They were also sitting at home, and they, and other people, on Instagram were being extremely, they were using the tools at hand to create almost similar, if not as good, videos and content. So what this made is, all of a sudden, the number of influencers have increased, bringing down the, stardom and the celebrity status, the value of celebrity status. Okay. But the number of total influencers have increased, and brands are, actually putting money. They're chasing the influencers to launch their products, launch their services, launch their solutions, right? The influencers have become marketable platforms today, right? How, if you observe how that happened in the last 4 or 5 years, it has been basis, tools that have been available, tools like InShot, which can stitch a few photographs and turn it into a video. You can add a music at at the back of it, okay, and all of a sudden create your good 30-second or a 1-minute reel, okay, and you don't have to shoot it. So all these digital tools available for people now. This VO2 or Sora or generative AI based video creation, generative AI engine is another such tool. Okay. So what I mean by that is, all of a sudden there is going to be a lot of what we engineers call the noise to signal ratio is going to increase. So on Instagram feeds, you will be seeing a lot of people posting, videos about places that they want to go to, or they've been to, claiming that they've been to, or which are on their bucket list, which are generative AI generated. Okay. And you have played around with them. They look almost real, if not very real. But those posts are going to increase on your Instagram post, and they will be clubbed with the reels and the stories of the people who have actually been to those places. Okay. So if you call that the signal, the second the signal, and first the noise, anything that's AI generated noise on your Instagram feeds, on your Facebook feeds, on your Snapchat feeds, this noise to signal ratio, or the ratio of AI generated videos to the actual real videos, is going to increase. So
okay.
How that is going to impact is in terms of the consumption. Okay. If I am looking at the videos, I'm going to, for every 10 AI generated video, I'll get one, real video. And sometimes AI generated videos will be much better. So the value that I will associate for the real video of the person who has gone there will diminish. So that is the diminishing value that I am talking about. It's sort of a psych hack.
Yeah, yeah. But also, I mean, there is also this impact, because so much of this is now developed through AI, right, and you don't know what is it real or just generated through that. That also goes in the podcast world, where you have AI podcast hosts, right, and who are actually there running the show, and there is now a question that whether is that going to be the change in the whole podcasting. But I have a feeling somehow it still is that when you have a real person putting this together, that creates a authenticity which you cannot. I wonder, can that be copied? Can that be developed through AI, or is it so finely made that you don't really know, is it AI or was it the real person? I just wonder.
So this is what I believe, right? AI is going to raise the bar. Okay, if I have to summarize it in a single sentence, AI is going to raise the bar uh, for the quality of content that is going to be uh, posted out there, okay, for consumption. Okay, because it's so easy to create really good, rich graphics based content using AI, and you can do it iteratively. You can do it multiple times. You give a prompt, a VO2 or Sora or any other video generation engine gives you an output. You don't like it, you can sit and change your prompt and get another output, right? Because it's that easy, it's iterative, you can do it. Okay, so what that means is, all of a sudden it's going to raise the bar of even the humans who are going to create content. They have to create it a notch or two above or better than AI. Okay, and that is overall for the content and content marketing and the content consumption and the industry of content. It's a good thing, because all of a sudden the quality of content is going up,
Yeah.
right? So the bar is raised. Now, coming back to your question of humans versus AI, right? I believe in every field, not just podcasting. Okay, um, the value is moving to the humans who can really produce, have that element of interaction, engagement, human touch. Okay, on YouTube you will actually right now see a lot of AI narrated videos. Okay, now what has happened is, that AI narration was a good thing to start with. You don't have to have voiceovers, you don't have to sync the video with the voice and everything, but it sort of becomes very canned. Okay, for the listener, two or three AI voice generated videos, the tone, the modality, the voice modulation becomes very canned, and you don't want to watch the fourth one. Okay, uh, you will want to get back to a human podcaster with the tonality up and down, the emotions, the body language. Okay, all that coming in. I mean, they say all communication is 7% words used, 38% voice tone and modulation, and 55% body language, right? And
Yeah.
gestures.
Yeah.
So we're still going to have that, and humans are going to have that.
Yeah. So, so the good news is that a raw and real podcast or video is really what will survive, and people who are producing this should not be so worried about making the absolute perfect. So the
Yeah.
small flaws
Oh,
that
yes.
an AI will not make is
Exactly.
acceptable.
Exactly. So that is going to be the humane thing, about any real content. Okay, all of a sudden AI will be striving for perfection. Okay, and
Yes.
people will be tired of perfection. It's like watching a Victoria's Secret ramp show for an entire day, and then you're tired. You just want to go and interact with a normal person with flaws, right?
Yeah.
With a non-perfect
Good.
body. Yeah.
So, so I was wondering, when this is a very interesting topic because it has an impact on maybe people's way of travel. Do you think
Yeah.
it also have from your observation? I mean, you mentioned about this example of the places that you've been. That what impact can it have an impact on over tourism to some locations? And there's something we should be worried about.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about it, and the impact of it on the travel, tourism, and the hospitality industry. Right. I'm an optimist. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm wired for optimism. So I'm wired for solutioning, and I'm wired for optimism. If I don't have optimism, if I'm not a positive person, I can't wake up in the morning. So I always look at whatever's coming, what could be the positive impact of it. What I see is tourism getting into the next level of maturity from what it is right now. Right now, if a lot of people travel for popular spots, for sightseeing, for ticking the check boxes, and we are already witnessing, Sam-Erik, and if I give you an example, you'll agree with me. Tourism is surely moving towards theme based tourism, right? I mean, I observed this here sitting in India. The first time I went for a motorcycle tour to Bali was in 2017. Okay, and it was this small little travel tour operator here in India who had hired India's leading lady motorcyclist to arrange all of this, and the logistics arranging there was so hard. Now, fast forward a few years, in Southeast Asia, in Vietnam, Thailand, Bali, Sri Lanka, I see motorcycle tours based tourism, regularly available. So, that's for me. And I do concerts. I travel for concerts. I travel for Formula One races. Right now, tourism is going to evolve into theme-based experience travel. Right, instead of going to Rome and checking out the Colosseum. Yes, we will do that as well. Okay, but after I've done that the first time, the next time I'm going to Rome, I probably will be going to check out the Mille Miglia, right?
Yeah,
The 1,000 mile race of the
yes, yes.
vintage cars. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is a good thing, and that is and AI and all these digital technologies will enable the tour operators and the travel and tourism industry to do that. I mean, catching hold of someone like me, who's interested in motorcycling, who's interested in Formula One, earlier was not easy. Today, slicing and dicing basis the public, comments and the Facebook pages and the Instagram pages that I like, which is public knowledge. Okay, using machine learning algorithms, they can profile me, and using generative AI, they can very easily create a very personalized ad that communicates for my love and passion for a certain kind of travel that I want to do. And then they can target me and take me out only on a week long driving tour or a concert tour, instead of. So I see tourism breaking into theme-based travel experiences, and those increasing, and a lot there's going to be a huge cottage industry of tour operators who are going to be offering that using digital technologies, and in which artificial intelligence and machine learning 1.0 and generative AI 2.0 could be extremely useful.
Yeah, it's a very interesting point that you made, and I really totally with you on this idea about the theme-based. Or could be something that people people who has a hobby like yourself have a hobby, listening to particular music or the motorcycling, which is your passion, and obviously you make that a particular holiday that you drive through Italy or whatnot, or right. India or Bali and so on. This is it's for all kinds of things that people are interested in. I mean, a friend of mine who is in doing blue zone retreats, meaning that the blue zone countries where people are living happily over 100 years old, and now there is a blue zone retreat that in these locations where people who are interested in finding out how can they improve their daily life through just being part of a kind of retreat in this location. Right. I mean, there's no magic medicines about it, but it's something that you can observe, and they are teaching sort of practical tips and so on about the way of living, nutrition, keeping active, learning new things. I mean, you're never too old to learn, even to learn to play a new instrument or doing something new. Yeah. And this has been catching on
very nice
in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, I call that soul travel, right? I mean, I that is my philosophy of travel as well. I mean, I'm a huge Anthony Bourdain fan, okay, and I love to soak in the soul and the culture of the places that I go to, and I try to look for offbeat places, have a meal with the locals, talk with the locals, walk and explore the places, contribute to the local economy, and with this Instagram based travel that is becoming rare year over year, but there still exists a niche for a lot of people like us to do that. And another example is the yoga travel yoga retreat travel that we are witnessing a lot in India. Few years back that did not exist. Now those exist. People can be reached out on Instagram. People are signing up and they're going. So travel is enabled by digital technologies, and that much more by AI, I believe is going to evolve, and that's what I call the maturity of travel and tourism into the next level. It's going to be theme based, is my belief.
Yeah. So I just wonder what maybe we can look at from the point of view what strategies could the destination adopt to remain appealing in a world where somehow this travel related content is overwhelmingly AI generated, or is it so, or is it just that the destination should not be worried about it, or they should just focus on to see what are the kind of activities that people are interested in and then develop the programs?
Yeah, like I said, I'm an entrepreneur. I look at positive side of things. I don't see, I don't think the destinations should be worried. In fact,
Yeah.
if I were an advisor to the destinations, I would say that look at different experiences that your destination offers, apart from that great Duomo or the great church or the great uh, castle that people will come and flock to take, or that beach, but different experiences. And then once you nail down those 5, 6, 7, 8 different experiences that your destination can offer, now data exists out there, travelers exist out there, that you can actually segment and target those travelers, okay, using artificial intelligence and machine learning. And you can very easily create your marketing material, your marketing collaterals. You can personalize them, okay, for different travelers, okay, and and target them, and you can still lure them in. And that way you're balancing you're actually increasing the diversity of the tourists who are coming into your destination. Okay, earlier, if they're only senior citizens, or they could only primarily be family tourists, or they could primarily be youngsters and backpackers. Now, because of the various experiences that you offer, you can actually bring in a lot of different diverse set of tourists. Okay, so that's a good thing for you. Okay, but I would say it's the second one of what you suggested. Destination should not be worried. Destination should actually take this up as a opportunity to open up and offer many more experiences and reach out.
Yeah, one of my suggestions are that to for destinations and hotels in destinations to reach out to a larger audience and use the technology we have right now in front of us. We have a camera,
Yeah.
we have a microphone, and I'm calling out any hotel that they want to start a little what I call a radio station,
Right.
and then actually talk about that destination, what's going on there, what are the news, and they can actually then grow an audience who are interested about the location or then an activity, and that is a kind of a marketing material they don't need an agent for. They just have to be content creators and keep themselves relevant, because there are so many people who are interested in yoga. There is interested in wellness. There is interest in motorcycling, or you want to go for a place where maybe a retired rock musician lives, and he's going to give a little workshop there.
Right.
If you end up at his house or whatnot. So there are many things you can do by taking out that mobile device and talk about, well, this is what I'm doing today, and here's my tip for 3-chord blues or something.
Exactly. In fact, it's very interesting that you gave that example of a rock musician. I'm working with one of India's biggest experiential travel companies, okay, to launch their next segment of services, where they have identified about 100, uh, artists, or people who are good at what they do. And there are potters, there are artists, there are musicians, and they're setting up a week long based travel plus workshop kind of an experience around each of these individuals, right? And that's now become a new travel service and a market and an industry, a micro industry. But and it's very easy to target those 20 people who would want to spend that week and that money there, with the interacting with that particular artist. Okay, like you said, a retired rock musician. Okay, I mean, we have our friend Bruno Santori, right? He lives in Milan.
Yeah.
What's stopping us from collecting about 20 very enthusiastic classical music enthusiasts, and go and spend a week there with Bruno, and learn from all of Bruno's life's learnings, right?
Yeah,
So
and visit. He likes to play at the Blue Notes in Milan once in a while.
Milan.
So I think it's
Yes.
worthwhile to make it a point, because I follow him actively. So I always enjoy watching him having his small concerts and so on.
Correct.
So that's great.
Correct.
Yes, okay, that's very interesting. We've been talking about that. And do you see something else going on which AI has an impact on people? Anything else you want to share on the topic we have talked about?
Okay, this is going to be the first time in the world, okay, and this is a billion-dollar idea. Anyone wants to pick it and run with it, they can run with it. Okay, I'll see if I can build it out. What I see that's happening for the travel and tourism industry is, so you have to understand the evolution of AI, right? We just entered the third generation of AI over the end of 2024, early 2025. If you've heard something called as AI agents, okay, AI is getting into reasoning. So you have to understand the first generation of AI was good at trend analysis, pattern recognition, and recommendations and predictive analytics. The second generation of AI was ChatGPT. It was generative AI. Machines were creating content. Earlier, they were never thought of creating content. The third generation of AI is where machines are going to reason, and we are already in that right now. Okay, we've entered the reasoning phase, or the stage, or the lifetime of machines. Next, there are a few more steps. Machines will have memory, machines will have perceptions, machines will have cognitive skills, machines will have metacognitive skills, and then what they say, super intelligence will be evolved. Okay, but let's not worry about that. Reasoning. Okay, we are going to have something called as AI agents, and over the next couple of years, over the next 2-3 years, the world is going to see the mobile app revolution equivalent, okay, when it comes to AI agents. Okay, and particularly in the travel and tourism industry. So what are agents, right? I mean, agents are nothing but, think of them as very intelligent, hardworking assistants or clones of you, which can do the end-to-end work or end-to-end workflow. Okay, now think of me as a traveler. Okay, if I have to, let's say, travel for a week, I have to do everything. I have to look for tickets, I have to look for hotel, I have to book my museum tickets well in advance, I have to book my race tickets well in advance, and figure out what meal I'm going to get where, and book my walking tours, book my bus tours, ferry tours, and all of that, right? And what are people looking? Most of the travelers are looking for deals all the time, right? They're looking for deals. They go for Google Skyscanner, look for the flights, and then they go to their individual airline websites to book and all of that. Sometimes they have these hacks that we sit at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday night is when the flights will be cheapest, or 9 a.m. on a Wednesday morning is when the hotels will be cheapest, right? We know all these differential pricing engines that airlines and hotels use. Okay, and there are hacks. But what if all that can be automated? There can be a Jayanth's travel booking AI agent, okay, which, when Jayanth is busy in a meeting or sleeping at 12 o'clock in the night, it's automatically, it knows that at a particular time the flight rates will be cheaper, so it will book the flights, it will book certain hotel, all optimized either for Jayanth's budget or Jayanth's experience, or whatever Jayanth wants to do. And all this while Jayanth is busy living his life or sleeping or doing something else, right? So that can be created. Now what's happening is, travel and tourism and hospitality industry was the first one to launch differential pricing. If you know that, airlines and hotels were the first ones to launch differential pricing. They are using machine learning to do that. Now we'll have AI agents. So think of machines fighting machines against each other to get the best deal. Okay, so there is an opportunity for individual customized AI agent to be built, and I see that going to be coming up very soon.
Yeah. So I mean, I will turn the AI to IA, so intelligent assistant.
Assistant, exactly.
Everybody.
That's a good one. Yeah, intelligent assistant. Yeah, you should trademark it.
Okay, it's trademarked now digitally. Very good. This has been an excellent discussion, and as always, you bring good value, and we are looking sort of a little bit what's ahead of us, and I just have to say that this is one of my favorite episodes every year when we meet and I learn from you about what's going on, and that's going to be very, very interesting, this development that and with the mobile device,
yeah,
we will have this intelligent assistant who is actually knows exactly what we're looking for and be working on our behalf while we are busy doing something else. That's
right.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Thanks, Sam-Erik. I completely enjoy, doing these episodes with you as well. And, as pattern would have it, every January, whatever trend we discuss, it turns out to be true. So, hopefully this will be as well.
Very good. Well, we have it recorded, so
Yeah.
we'll check how far we got this time. But I think we are a little bit ahead of curve, Jay, and thanks to you. So it's going to be nice. So again, Jay, thank you very much for being with me for this episode. And yes, we're getting the episode number 8 wrapped up here, and then can't wait to have the episode number 9 in a year from now. So thanks again. And well, for all of you, thank you for tuning into the Social Hotelier. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to leave us a review. Give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I don't mind if you subscribe. It will help me to get more guests for this show. So we have a lot of different guests coming up for our show. When it comes to AI and IT, that's Jayanth. There's no one else who is going to be a part of that. But then I have hoteliers, I have travel specialists, I have people who are into some themed about humanity also. So it's not only about the hardcore travel. But I look forward to seeing you in my next episode. And thanks very much again for being with me and Jayanth in this episode.